The battle for Maplewood Drive. The sun was barely up, casting a golden glow over Maplewood Drive, when I backed my rented moving truck into the driveway of my new home. At 55, I'd seen my share of life's ups and downs, but nothing could have prepared me for the storm that was about to break on what should have been a joyful day. My name is Marcus Thompson, a retired accountant with a pension and a dream of a quiet life in a colonial-style house I'd spent months searching for. After navigating a maze of real estate offers and paperwork, I'd finally closed on this place in what the agent called the gem of the city's suburbs. Little did I know that Jim was about to reveal a very sharp edge. I'd enlisted my younger brother, Nathan, to help with the move. We'd been at it for a couple of hours, hauling boxes and furniture under the warm June sky, when I noticed her. She stepped out of the house across the street like a general inspecting her territory. Her auburn hair was impeccably styled, her navy blazer crisp despite the early hour, and her red stilettos clicked with purpose as she planted herself on her flawless lawn, arms folded, eyes locked on me like I was a trespasser. I gave her a wave, hoping to signal, "New neighbor, friendly guy." She didn't wave back. Her stare only hardened. Her name was Evelyn Harper, president of the Maplewood Drive Homeowners Association, and within minutes, she'd turned my moving day into a battleground. As I wrestled with a heavy oak bookshelf, her voice sliced through the morning air. "Excuse me, sir. I need to see your moving permits." "Permits?" I set the shelf down, wiping sweat from my brow, and tried to keep my tone polite. "I'm sorry, what permits?" Her lips curled into a smirk that made my stomach twist. "Every move in this neighborhood requires HOA approval. You can't just roll up with a truck and disrupt our community." Nathan, always quick to sense trouble, stepped beside me. "Is there a problem here?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. Evelyn's eyes darted between us, and I saw something chilling in her gaze, not just annoyance, but a deeper, uglier intent. "The problem," she said, loud enough for curious neighbors to hear, "is that I don't know who you are or what you're doing here. This isn't the kind of activity we tolerate in Maplewood." The way she said "you" and "activity" left no doubt about her meaning. The air grew heavy, like the moment before a thunderstorm. "Ma'am," I said, struggling to stay composed, "I bought this house. I'm moving in. I have every right to be here." But Evelyn wasn't listening. She pulled out her phone, dialed 911, and spoke with theatrical clarity. "Yes, I need police assistance. Suspicious individuals are engaging in unauthorized activities in our neighborhood. They're becoming confrontational, and I'm concerned for my safety." Suspicious individuals. The words hit like a slap. Nathan tensed, but I signaled him to stay calm. We both knew how these situations could spiral. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers arrived, their lights flashing across the pristine street. The officers, one older, weary-eyed, named Sergeant Daniels, and a younger one, Officer Reed, with a rookie's eagerness approached. Evelyn rushed toward them, her stilettos clicking like a war drum. "Officers, thank goodness. I'm Evelyn Harper, HOA president. These men are trespassing, and when I questioned them, they got hostile." "Hostile?" I was in cargo shorts and a faded college tee, sweating from moving furniture. Sergeant Daniels turned to me. "Sir, can you explain what's going on?" Finally, a chance to set things straight. "I'm Marcus Thompson. I closed on this house 3 days ago. I'm moving in. This woman demanded permits I've never heard of and called you when I explained I'm the owner." I pulled out my phone, scrolling for the digital deed. "Here's my closing paperwork." Officer Reed barely glanced at it. "We'll need physical documents, sir. Emails can be faked." "Faked?" I felt the ground shift beneath me. Evelyn seized the moment. "Officers, I've lived here for 15 years. I know every resident. These men are strangers, and their story about buying this house is highly suspicious." Her words dripped with insinuation. Just then, a neighbor, Linda Nguyen, approached, her hands dusted with garden soil. "I'm Linda, next door. Isn't this the new owner?" I saw the real estate sign come down. Evelyn snapped. "Linda, step back. This is a police matter." But Linda held her ground, and I saw other neighbors peering from windows, drawn to the drama. The tension spiked when Evelyn's lawyer, Charles Wentworth, arrived in a gleaming Lexus, his silver hair and tailored suit screaming money and power. "I'm the HOA's legal counsel," he announced, handing Sergeant Daniels a stack of documents. "Property transfers in Maplewood require HOA board approval, which these individuals lack. This is about maintaining our community's standards. Standards. The word hung heavy, and I realized this wasn't about permits, it was about me, a black man, daring to move into Evelyn's carefully curated world. Nathan started recording on his phone. For the record, it's June 8th, 2025, and Evelyn Harper just called police on my brother for moving into his own house, claiming he's a threat to her standards. Evelyn's face paled. "Turn that off," she demanded, but Sergeant Daniels intervened. "He's within his rights to record on a public street." The crowd grew. Neighbors like George Ramsey, a retired veteran who'd seen me with my agent, and the Patel family, who whispered about Evelyn's past harassment. When my real estate agent, Karen Walsh, called, her voice crackled with confusion. "Marcus, what's this about an HOA approval? I've sold houses here for years, and there's no such rule." Wentworth's composure slipped, but Evelyn doubled down. "Officers, we've had incidents, strange vehicles, people who don't belong. Given the demographic shifts, we have to be vigilant." Demographic shifts. The mask was off, and the crowd gasped. George stepped forward. "Evelyn, are you talking about the Patels? Or the Wilsons who left last year? Because this sounds like a pattern." I faced Evelyn directly. "If I were a white retiree with the same paperwork, would we be here?" Her face flushed, but she deflected. "This is about rules, not whatever you're implying." Nathan's video was already spreading online, and the police, sensing the truth, told me I could continue moving. But Evelyn's parting words chilled me. "This isn't over." By Sunday, I was served with a lawsuit. Evelyn, through the HOA, accused me of violating covenants, disturbing the peace, and conduct detrimental to property values. They wanted me out within 60 days. My cousin, Olivia Grant, a civil rights attorney, took my case. "Marcus," she said, "this is bigger than you. Evelyn's been targeting non-white families for years. We're going nuclear." We filed a federal civil rights lawsuit, alleging discrimination and conspiracy. The evidence was damning. Emails, texts, and a Maplewood Preservation Fund Evelyn used to bankroll her campaigns against families like the Garcias, Wilsons, and Lees, all minorities who'd left under pressure. The story exploded. News vans lined the street, and protesters waved signs reading, "End Neighborhood Racism." Neighbors rallied. Linda organized a petition to oust Evelyn, signed by 50 residents. The Garcias offered documents from their ordeal. Social media amplified Nathan's video, and the hashtag Maplewood Justice trended. A detective from the DA's office called, hinting at Evelyn's embezzlement of HOA funds, hundreds of thousands spent on her lifestyle and legal battles. 6 months later, justice arrived. Evelyn was sentenced to 18 months in prison for civil rights violations, mail fraud, and embezzlement. Wentworth lost his law license. The HOA settled our lawsuit, compensating affected families. Maplewood Drive transformed. Linda became the HOA president, banning discriminatory practices. The Garcias returned, and new families, like the Kims, moved in without fear. My house became a symbol of resilience, and I spoke at community events about fair housing. One evening, as I planted roses in my yard, a young couple, the Chavezes, moved in across the street. "Mr. Thompson," they said, "we bought here because of you. This feels like a place we can call home." Watching them unload their truck, surrounded by welcoming neighbors, I knew every moment of the fight had been worth it. Evelyn's old house, bought by a Nigerian family who invited me to their housewarming. I framed their note next to my front door, a reminder that standing up to hate can change everything. What do you think about Marcus's story? Have you ever faced or witnessed injustice in your community? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about how we confront bias and build better neighborhoods. Your voice matters.